Hi everybody, hope everyone's doing well. My name is Debbie Farinella and I'm on the creative design team at Sizzix, and I'm here to share with you some of the accessories and tools that are going to be on sale coming up soon. 30% off, and everybody loves a sale. So let me get started with some of the accessories, and I'm going to show you a really fun quick project that you can do using some of the tools and accessories that are also included in the sale. So here I go. Let me put on my glasses. This is 3 of the 4 Sculpting Foam color combinations that are on sale. Springtime, all of these, you get 5 full sheets. They're 12 inches by 24 inches, and each box has 5 colors. So full sheets, 5 colors of all of these, and there's one more that unfortunately I don't have here, but it is pastel colors, and it's absolutely beautiful. So what this does is it creates anything that you're doing with any of the die cuts. It cuts out of the big steel rule dies and also the thinlet dies. But when you go ahead and cut it, once it's cut, you can sculpt it with your heat tool. And let me put this aside and go ahead and show you with a couple things that are on sale, showing you what you can do with the sculpting foam. So I've already pre-cut this piece here. This is using our sculpting foam. It's a thin foam, but when it's heated, you can manipulate it and make it a little more lifelike. So included in the sale also with the sculpting foam is our sculpting foam, is our tool, our glue gun accessory kit. So our tools and accessories for glue gun, it comes with the heat resistant mat, the spatula, and 4 fingertip protectors, because we know when we're heating up something with either our glue gun or a heat tool, we don't want to burn our fingers. So I'm going to show you how this works. Let me get this piece back here. And our heat gun has 2 dual speeds on it. Let me put a couple protectors on, and I'm going to show you. So once I go ahead and heat it up, it's going to soften up the foam, and I can manipulate it to give it a little more realistic effect. Once you see it starting to take shape, while it's still warm, you just want to play around with it just a little bit. Just kind of stretch the petals while they're still warm. And the great thing about this is if you decide that you want it to be a little more flat, other than how you'd already done it, you can go ahead and reflatten it and get it going. So look how great that looks. Add a couple more layers on top of that. Maybe if you go ahead and do some with our oil pastels, paint it up a little bit, add it to the same flower, and put some stamens in the center. Look how great that looks. So that's a quick little project using our glue gun accessories to keep your fingers protected with the spatula, the heat tool, the heat resistant mat, and it gives you a great little project. So that would be beautiful added onto a headband, a card, or any kind of project or home decor project. So that's that one there. I put that aside. Also on sale is our shrink plastic. So I went ahead and I cut this with our thinlet die. This is our Flutter on By butterfly, and I went ahead and I cut our shrink plastic out of that. So if I decided to color this with our markers or any permanent markers and then wanted to shrink it up a little bit to add to any kind of accessory, could be a jewelry, could be a wine glass charm, I'm going to use this is the same heat resistant, but this one is also on sale. This is a heat resistant mat, and this comes with the shrink plastic. This is our shrink plastic accessory kit. So you get this screen, because we know when we do shrink plastic, it kind of curls up and moves around and you want it to fly away, and then you have to pick it up hot. So we have the screen. So you go ahead, lay your piece down here. What I like to do is get it started first with the heat tool, and then once it starts to curl up, I put this down to hold it down. So I'll go ahead and show you how to work that. Let me get that little piece of lint off of there. And you know it's going to go back to its normal shape, so don't worry about that. While it's still warm, I'm going to do the paddle here. I'm going to press it down one bit more. still warm, just so you don't have that screen mark, you're going to take your paddle and just press it down. And as it cools, it hardens. And that big butterfly turned into that smaller piece. It thickens it and it makes it a lot firmer. And it's ready to add to any embellishment. Now, if you wanted to do something to adhere it to something with a string, what you wanted, or tie a string onto it, what you want to do is punch it before you shrink it. Your hole shrinks a little bit, but it's still, you're still able to thread something through. So imagine how great that would look once it is colored before you go ahead and shrink it. So if you color it on the back side of it, when you color it and it shrinks, it concentrates the color and it makes it a lot more stronger of an image. So that's a beautiful way to create another project. So the Shrink Plastic Accessory Kit with the screen and the spatula, that's also on sale, as well as the Glue Gun Accessory Kit that I had showed you before with the spatula and the finger protectors. So those are those. Now we know that when we have some intricate dies, we need to make sure that the image that you're cutting is going to be nice, clean, and strong, because sometimes with a regular cutting pad, if it's very intricate, it might not come through all the way. So with this here, this is what we call intricate. The metal base, this acts as your second cutting pad. So instead of using a cutting pad on top and one on the bottom and this, it won't go through the machine. You need to have this one on the bottom and then your other one on top. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean. So the precision base plate is also on sale, 30% off, and you can't beat that. So using my regular Big Shot machine, I'm going to take this cutting pad off. This one here, the precision base plate, the chrome precision base plate, acts as my second cutting pad, the one on the bottom. So I still need this since I'm doing some die cutting. I'm going to go ahead and put that there on the bottom. Take my cardstock. And then I'm going to put my intricate die there. So you want to cut down on this side, inside, on the chrome side. Now it shows you right on here exactly what you need to do. You do not cut on this printed part, and it'll say it right there. You make sure your blade is going against the chrome. So it gives a stronger, the metal gives it a stronger cut. So these are more for intricate. You don't need to do it with a framelit that's just a basic circle or something simple. You just need to do it with something that's very intricate and detailed, like a doily or something exactly like this. So I'm going to go ahead and run it through my Big Shot. You can hear the crackling, but that is normal. So you can see the detail here. Now you know that it doesn't take out all the pieces all the way, but you know it cut through because you can see it from the back side. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my foam and my die brush and just clean out the pieces that didn't cut through. It cut through but didn't come out at the same time. And sometimes there's a couple pieces that are really tight in there, and that's when you would go ahead and grab your die pick. Just these little dots here. And look how detailed that is. People might think you laser cut it or fussy cut it, but that would take a lot of time and just one pass through the machine. The detail is gorgeous. So that's that. Another great way that you could use this, the precision base plate, is using our stencil film. And that's doing the same idea, but cutting with the stencil, our stencil film, and then running it through the machine and cutting it, and you're able to use it as a stencil. And I'll show you a technique that I did on a project really quick after this. So that's that. Precision base plate, also 30% off, and it lasts forever. It doesn't cut into it. You cut into it, but it doesn't leave any kind of markings. You just see a little bit of my glue there on the side. So that's also 30% off. Another thing that's 30% off that I absolutely love is the sticky grid. Now the sticky grid comes in a pack of, ooh, shoot, I wish I knew how many pieces, but it comes in a full pack. So what I did is, what I like to do is when I'm doing multiple cards or projects, that's going to be the exact same size the entire time. Instead of me having to reposition it and make sure it's straight and registered at the same time, the sticky grid is perfect. It lays right there on there. You do blade up, so the flat side of your Thinlit is on the sticky grid part. It's kind of a low tack tape. almost like a washi tape, like our maker's tape. But what I like to do is, because it's so sticky, is as soon as I use a new sheet, I like to tap it on my clothes just to get a little fuzz on it, because you don't want to ruin your paper when you peel it off, because although it's low tack, it does really stick to your paper when it runs through the machine from the pressure. So this is perfect. What I do is I keep one sticky grid sheet on one cutting pad and just use it all the time. I cover it after I'm done with it so no dust collects on it. So a full sheet, brand new, it's sticky on both sides. So you're going to peel off one side, go ahead and lay it down on your cutting pad. And then when you're done for the day, or not going to use it for a few weeks, just lay this piece right back on it, protects it, and it lasts a long time. But if you know that you're going to be doing multiple of the same card or project, it's great to just leave that on there and just position it on and just run it through, and you know it's going to be the exact same spot every single time. So I'm going to show you real quick a project that I did with that as well, combined with that butterfly. So this is a sticky grid, perfect for laying out any messages. As you can tell, since you're going to be cutting it with the blade up, your message has to be laid down backwards because it gives it the mirror image. So that's that. Sticky grid is also 30% off. Another tool and accessory that I love is our media board. Media board is perfect for any kind of mixed media. It's great for our scoreboard dies because not only is it firm, almost like a mat board, but it'll cut and score. So say you're doing one of Eileen Hull's books, or an album, or any of our boxes. It cuts and it scores this. So it won't cut all the way through on the part that you're going to fold. For a media board, that's amazing because you can cover it with your cardstock, run it through the machine to create a box or whatever die you're using, and it's going to score it. So you can still manipulate it like a card and it won't crack. It just scores this heavy board, which is great. So I'm just going to show you really quick how well it cuts this, our swan die. And since this is a steel rule die, which is our bigs, I don't need the platform inside. Since it's already a larger die, I just need to have a cutting pad on the bottom and one on the top. And always make sure your paper is against the blade. So the media board, a pack of, I believe, 6 sheets is also 30% off. Can't beat that. So that's our swan. Look how pretty she is. So there she is. You got her crown. So just imagine if I cut the crown out of our opulent paper, which is also on sale, and then went ahead and cut it out of the gold. How pretty would that be? You also get her wing. So if I adhered her, if I put maybe our adhesive sheets on there on the back side of it, or just use our express glue just so you can get an idea. But her wing could be another color. Opulent, any kind of gold or charcoal opulent, any of the colors would make a beautiful little card onto a project for a bride or whatever. So you can just imagine how great that would turn out. And this heavy cardstock cut beautifully, and it stands up perfectly. A great little place card for a bridal shower. So that's the media board on sale. Can't beat that, 30% off. Here it is in a full package. It is, let's see, 6 by 13. Nice and heavy, perfect for any kind of mixed media, paint, paste, anything. It'd be great projects to create. Some more of our cardstock. We also have others. This has just happened to be some that I have here to share with you, is our neutral cardstock. You get 10 colors, 6 of each. And also our festive opulent. So these are all not just Christmas. These are beautiful for Valentine's Day. You could use the green for spring, any time of year. So these are beautiful. And it has the glitter, it has the pearl, and you get a total of 60 pieces total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 10 of each sheet. So this is just some of them. So when you go to the website, also 30% off is a cardstock. So I'm going to show you a really quick project that I created using some of the accessories so you can get an idea of how to put it together and how to also use them. So let me clean off my cutting pad here. So I'm going to show you using the sticky grid to create the word soar, using a dimensional cutting pad, which is a cutting pad. It's not on sale, but I just love to share it with people because a lot of people aren't sure what it actually does. And then this is using the intricate butterfly that I also cut the flutter on by. So let me go ahead and cut the butterfly. So this is the flutter on by. So what you're going to get is a thinlet, solid, and then the intricate that matches with it for all 4 of these butterflies. You also have the body of the smaller ones. You can also add it to the larger one, but I'm going to show you a technique that I did just using a portion of the centerpiece there. So let me show you how I created this. Since it's a thinlet, I need to use my platform and a regular cutting pad. I'm going to use, let me do it on this end so you can see what I'm doing. It's going to have to be backwards though. So I'm going to go ahead and position the butterfly up here. And then I'm going to use our dimensional cutting pad. Dimensional cutting pad has a slit here in the middle. It doesn't go all the way through, it's just more of a divot. And it creates no pressure. So think about a cutting pad. It has pressure throughout. But this one, since there's a little gap in the middle, there's not going to be any pressure there at all. So if I lay it down in the center of the butterfly, there's not going to be any area of that butterfly that's cut because there's no pressure in the center where that actual slit is. So I'm going to run it backwards. You hear the crackling, but as I said, that's normal. So I cut the butterfly there. What I did is I also added an adhesive sheet on the back of it because I want to make sure that it also cuts, when it cuts, that it's going to adhere down to my card base. So that's that. So I'm not going to peel off anything yet, and I'm not going to bend away the butterfly yet either. I want to still add my word soar. So here's the word soar here. It's already positioned, ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and add it. I want to make sure it's down, it's placed down here, and I know exactly where it's going to be. So I'm going to position it right there. So it's centered below my butterfly. It's not going to hurt the butterfly at all because the butterfly is at the top and the words are down below. And I don't need to use my dimensional cutting pad because I'm just cutting words out and I want all the words to cut out. Go ahead and run it this way. This machine, you can cut it forwards or backwards. So as you see, it cut through. I'm just going to carefully peel it off. You just have to be real careful because since the sticky grid is so sticky, you want to make sure you're not going to tear off anything. And keep the butterfly intact because remember it's only partially cut on the sides. So there we've got the word soar. Now some people are particular. Once they lay it down, they want to make sure, some people don't mind the gap, the full circle for the O or the piece in the A missing, but if you'd like to add that, you can still peel it off and add it to there. So that's ready to go. Put this off to the side here. And I already have my pieces ready to adhere down. So remember earlier I had cut the intricate butterfly. That's the part that's going to lay down on top of here. But just say I want to add the center of the butterfly. I put a piece of adhesive sheet on the back of my green cardstock, and I'm going to just run it through really quick, just so I can have the center of the butterfly. Now I only need a portion of his body, so I'm just going to cut those pieces off. Just trim around it. You know it's going to fit because it was using the same exact die. Peel it off. I'll go ahead and adhere it to the middle of his body. that's ready to go. This has the adhesive sheet on the back, so what I'm going to do is peel the backing off. So it's perfect for, especially for intricate dies, letters, words. If you don't want to have to deal with cutting it, if you don't want to have to deal with, sorry, not cutting it, gluing it, you'll be able to know that it's going to stick down because you use the adhesive sheet. So I don't want this butterfly to have the sticker on it because I want it to be floppy and folding away, kind of give it the whimsy idea. So I'm just going to peel that off like that and just peel off my adhesive sheet just on the base part. I could use my tape runner if I want, but this just makes sure that this will stay down put. Make sure the fold is on the left, which is something I've done before. That's why I remind people that. Go ahead and lay that down. And that's not going to stick down because I made sure that I didn't peel the adhesive off the back. But with that adhesive sheet, it makes a perfect little setup there for your butterfly. Now for the words, if I decided that I wanted to add the center of the O, I could go ahead and lay that down in the middle. I actually don't mind it like that, but just to give you an idea, you know that you cut it, so you can go ahead and place that in there. You want to center it a little bit better. Same with the A. Normally I wouldn't peel these off, but it's easier just to take it off since I'm just doing this one time. But I would just keep the word soar on there multiple times since I'm going to be, if I was going to be making multiple for an invitation or something, especially spelling out someone's name, that's perfect. So that finishes off the word right there. The last bit is just adding the butterfly. I'm going to use my adhesive, my liquid adhesive, which is our express glue. And it seems to have decided to close up on me. There we go. So if you're familiar with our color story, we have all sorts of things that coordinate with all of our colors. So this is our limoncello yellow. This is our cherry blossom pink. What we also have is glitter and embossing powders and all sorts of other sequins and beads that coordinate with it. So just imagine what you could come up with doing one project like this. So this is the card showing you how to use your sticky grid, your precision base plate, and also the tools and accessories. So hopefully you get some good deals and you're looking forward to doing some shopping on our website. The sale is 30% off, and I'm sure you'll come up with some great ideas, gifts, or anything for yourself. Nothing's better than buying something for yourself. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy shopping.